Need Pokemon Go PvP coaching? Well, I'm on Metafy. So click the link in the video description and it'll take you right to my page. What's up, guys? Got another exciting team. Well, it's an old team, an oldie but a goodie. In Ultra League Premier Classic, for some reason, I just can't seem to start losing in this league, so we're going to see some more teams here. First of all, huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Could not be doing this without you guys. But yes, let's get right into this video here. So this team is a team I released, I don't know how long ago. I feel like 6 months ago. Triple counter team in Ultra Premier Classic. The only difference being I am running the new buffed Mega Horn instead of Aerial Ace on Escavalier. But otherwise, same thing. It's an ABB team, 3 Pokemon with counter. The goal here is to bait out the anti-fighter so that Obstagoon can sweep at the end, and to kind of invalidate any of their Pokemon like Empoleon, Lapras, Snorlax that are weak to fighting, just by having these 3 Pokemon. Before we get into it too much, though, I do want to make a disclaimer. If you are seeing lots of fairies or you are seeing lots of Charizard at your rating bracket or in your current meta, do not run this team. Because if you do, you're going to lose a lot of games and probably leave some nasty YouTube comments, and I will just say, I told you so. Or don't do it. In my rating, there's not a lot of Charmers. There's a couple. I did manage to beat, I think, the only Charmer I saw. There aren't a lot of Charizards anymore. So, I don't know. It was working very well for me. That's why there's a disclaimer on this team, because I'm not seeing many Charizards. I know there's a pretty big Charizard weakness. So, yeah. Run at your own risk. As far as the team goes, yeah, swap into Escav as soon as you can. Toxic, even if it's kind of a decently for Toxicroak. But yeah, you're preying on the fact that a lot of people are running stuff like the Lapras, Empoleon, and Snorlax, and should be able to win those games. Yeah, so I did want to talk about, before we get into the gameplay, maybe why am I having so much success in Ultra League Premier Classic, and is that a problem with the XL system? I honestly think it might be. I've never been really on the leaderboard since XLs have come out in Ultra League, but honestly, I was just running this team kind of as a joke to see if it would still work, and it absolutely stomped. So I'm not really sure. I feel like the XL system really invalidates a lot of other players' play. But yeah, anyways, we're getting into the games. Escav lead. Just keep countering until they throw. Swap into Kingdra here, and I go for the bait because most Kingdra players generally have shielded, but they actually don't shield the Mud Bomb. So very impressive by them. I'm gonna throw the Sludge Bomb now, seeing if they're actually willing to throw that. Gonna go into my Escav and just pray that I don't get debuffed here. I probably should have swapped faster, or thrown right away and then swapped faster, but I was a bit caught off guard since this was my first time playing the team in a long time. I'm able to counter all the way down, and Escav should be able to hit anything that comes in extremely hard, unless it's Charizard with either Mega Horn or Drill Run. Or Crobat, I guess, but yeah, Crobat actually is pretty tough for this team too. But Escav is going to be able to counter down their own Escav, so they're forced to switch out. I throw the Drill Run instead of the Mega Horn. Very sad. The Swampert tanks that, and I'm able to swap out into my Obstagoon. Yeah, if I had thrown the Mega Horn, this game would have been very, very easy. Obstagoon has to tank Hydro Cannon. It's going to be able to tank another Hydro Cannon. But with the shield remaining, I just need to get to one more Night Slash after this one, and it should be a pretty easy win here. Their switch timer isn't up yet, so they can't catch. I hopefully have CMP'd on this one, so even though their switch timer might be about... Oh, I actually let it go down. It's the safest play to just come in with a Toxicroak and counter down both Pokemon with my shield intact, just in case that Escav did have a move banked. Just make the safe play. Always make the safe play, unless you are going to lose with the safe play. Next battle against Toshi here. Scizor is running Dragonite. This is a pretty tough lead. You have to go right into Escav. This is not a Pokemon that you want to face with your Toxicroak. Obstagoon and Escav are both better. I'm going to throw the Mega Horn. Because it's a Shadow Dragonite, they shield. I've had much more success throwing Mega Horns at non-Shadow Dragonites, but if you land the Mega Horn, this is a completely fine matchup. Instead, you're going to have to get to that second Mega Horn, and they're going to have to throw energy so I don't get this off. I decide to shield, in fact, because this Dragonite's a pretty big threat, and they're not going to get a lot from farming down my Escav. So they're now shields down, and the switch timer stalled enough because of that. I'm coming with the Obstagoon. and just hope they don't get to another move. They swap earlier, and then I'm going to go into my Toxicroak against Venusaur here. This is not that great of a matchup, surprisingly, considering it's a poison type versus a grass type. Venusaur is just really powerful, but these Sludge Bombs will hurt. But I'm going to be unable to actually win the 0 shield versus Venusaur. So, kind of sad. That's okay. Toxicroak goes down. And we're going to come in with Obstagoon, and I can't counter all the way down either. You're going to have to throw a Night Slash, and at this point, I'm all in on Obstagoon. I'm just hoping for the boost. That's kind of the win condition here. They throw the Dragon Claw, and I'm going to try and farm all the... No, I didn't know how much energy they had, so we're going to throw a Night Slash, and in comes Empoleon. So this is exactly the kind of thing that this team is normally very good against. Unfortunately, the team is not very good against... Venusaur and and Dragonite, and that gave this Empoleon enough of an advantage that it's able to take out my Obstagoon despite taking super effective damage from the counter. And I think I just lost CMP there. So very, very close game. Came down to literally 0 turn difference, right? It was just a CMP tie. This team could keep you in it, even against some terrible leads. And, well, I like Shadow Dragonite, where you might think you don't have an answer to. Toxicroak Mirror, this is kind of tough for my Toxicroak specifically, right? If you look at my IVs, I'm running the best buddy 13, 15, 15, which means I lose CMP against most Toxicroaks. But if you look at my opponent's Toxicroak, I believe that it has even less CP than mine, so there's a good chance I would win CMP here. Unfortunately, I don't shield that move. I remember I was reading chat on Twitch instead and not paying attention, but instead my Toxicroak's able to take a 2 shield advantage. I'm going to come in with Escav. They're going to come in with Snorlax. At this point, I go for the Mega Horn because I don't know quite how much damage this does, but I probably should have waited a little bit until this KOs. Instead, they're going to throw a Superpower. I'm going to shield because it feels like my Escav is going to have to do a lot of work here, because it's going to have to take out the Toxicroak, which they bring back in, thankfully. I'm going to shield the Mud Bomb and go for the Drill Run. I still have a full Obstagoon in the back, so it would really have to be something that's quite good against Escav and Obstagoon, and I think the only option would be a Charmer, and here we go. Once again, you have that fighting weakness in the back, and I swap into my Obstagoon there to kind of just show them that the game was over, and that's how you end games a little bit earlier if you know it's a very comfortable win. So once again, person gets caught with a Lapras in the back. Escav and Obstagoon are still around, so it's game over. Dragonite lead, so let's see if we can do a little bit better against Dragonite lead than Shadow Dragonite. This time I'm going to throw the Mega Horn right away. I mean, I did it last time too, but this time I'm also going to throw the Mega Horn right away, and you can see how much damage that does. They're going to go for a move. I'm not going to shield regardless. If it's a Hurricane, that's fine. Escav gets taken out, but I can just wait down the timer, and this Dragonite, which is a huge threat to the team, is already quite low. In comes a Alolan Muck. And this is perfect because I don't want that Poison Jab Alolan Muck on my Obstagoon. I'd much rather have Toxicroak be able to deal with it. I think they thought I was going to come in with my other Pokemon. But I came in with Toxicroak because I'd be able to counter down the Dragonite at that point, and I wouldn't have to reveal my backline. And then Dragonite comes in. I got a bit nervous because I was like, why are they bringing it back in? So I throw the Mud Bomb, and then it's an Empoleon on the back. So exactly, once again... Like, this happens so often. They just bring in their last Pokemon, it's weak to counter, and then you show them your last Pokemon, and they just quit the game. So you're going to win a lot of games just based off of that. And it's very nice. It's very nice for sure. But like I said, if you're seeing Charizard, it's the exact opposite that Charizard comes out. It's almost a top left from how much farm it'll get from Escav. If it's running Fire Spin, or if it's running Wing Attack in the lead, it's really tough because then you have to kind of swap Escav in at some point too. Escav lead. Once again, I'm going to keep farming this time. I don't get my move through. That's fine. Shield the Drill Run. Obviously, it'll deal a ton of damage. And then, once again, a Kingdra comes in. This time, I don't bait. Because the last player didn't, I wonder if it's a content creator video, so everyone's playing it the same way. I'm going to swap into my Goon this time. This is the correct swap. If you swap fast enough, you don't resist the Dragon Breaths, but my Goon is not very good against Escav. And even if they outrage me here, that's fine. They're not at the outrage. But Escav is going to come in and get a decently sized farm. Unfortunately, Escav is also kind of squishy. Unfortunately for them. So I'm going to be able to get a shield back from this Night Slash. Even though it has a farm. Ooh, I have a tough decision to make. I decide to come back in with Toxicroak. Yeah, I was thinking about Escav too, just because then I wouldn't have to shield the Drill Run. But I knew I was going to be able to make it to a Mud Bomb first. Nidoqueen, instead of just coming in with the Escav, I throw my Mud Bomb here, grab a shield, and then for some reason, I decide not to learn from my mistakes and then go for another Mud Bomb instead of just switching to my Escav, where a Drill Run would probably KO. Instead, I decide to soak this Earth Power on Toxicroak, the CMP, and then go in with the Escav. And if they throw a Poison Fang, I can farm it all the way down. If they don't, I can just go for this Drill Run and take it out. And at this point, my Escav is still healthy enough to take a Drill Run from their Escav and be able to reach a Drill Run, I'm sure, before they get to their second Drill Run. And win this game as well. So, despite a little bit of poor play for me, still win. This team is very forgiving, I guess, if you run into good comps. But like I said, I hadn't played this team in a very long time. Picking it up again in a brand new meta was a bit tricky, for sure. All right, next game. We've got Roserade in the lead, and you can see my game is starting to not give me very much time to think about stuff. So they throw a move. I'm going to no shield. It's a Weather Ball. I didn't think they were at a Leaf Storm yet. Anyways, Weather Ball actually does quite a bit of damage. I'm going to go for the bait here. And then for the CMP tie, this is a tough one as well. I'm going to shield to try and take this Roserade down. Poison Jab Roserade is a huge threat to the team. Obviously, Escav, double weak to fire. Obstagoon counters are resisted. Toxicroak counters are resisted. So I'm going to come in with Obstagoon, take it down just in case they're at a Weather Ball, and they just quit. So, so yeah, that's the thing. We don't get to see what they have in the back, but usually if you have a Roserade or a Poison type in the front, which is what you might struggle with, they usually have things that are weak to fighting in the back, right? Fighting being that good complement. So we have Toxicroak lead. This is, sorry, Trevenant lead. That's very tough. I'm going to go in with Escav. Their best bet is probably to stay in here. I'm going to just throw the Drill Run. They shield, because if they don't, I can technically win back switch, and getting my Goon on that Trevenant would definitely be worth it. They cross chop to take me out, and I'm going to come back in with the Toxicroak. Obviously, Toxicroak versus Machamp is a pretty good matchup. And just going to try and counter this all the way down. Not going to shield, right, because Toxicroak is locked into that awful Trevenant matchup. Sorry, I can't see my screen right now. My cat is in the way. Obstagoon's going to come in regardless of what it is. And it was Swampert. They brought Swampert in instead of Trevenant. So right now with my shield advantage, I'm going to need to be able to take down Swampert and Trevenant on Obstagoon. And I'm just praying for the boost. In the 2v1 shields, I should easily take down the Swampert. I'm going to shield the Hydro Cannons because they're going to be the highest damage move that Obstagoon's going to have to take. So don't feel bad about shielding those. Seed Bomb doesn't do nearly as much as Hydro Cannon. Yeah, I'm just going to keep throwing those Night Slashes. At this point, the win con is going to be to strip those shields down, take out this Swampert at all costs, and then throw my Sludge Bomb at the Trevenant to finish it off once I get the Night Slash on it, of course. The thing is, I'm not sure if Trevenant or Toxicroak wins CMP. I have a feeling it might be Trevenant, so I can't mess this switch up. If they're able to KO my Toxicroak with a Seed Bomb, that I'm in trouble. So they actually throw a Seed Bomb here, so I feel safe to switch into my Toxicroak and get the Sludge Bomb off right here for the win. Yeah, so this was a bad lead too, right? Trevenant beats both Toxicroak and Escav. So if it beats your switch, a lot of people, I coach a lot of people, they don't even swap their switches in if they know their switch is going to lose. You have to do it though, because the only way you can win is by making them react to it poorly, right? And it wasn't even a poor reaction in this game. So Nidoqueen comes in, and I decide to not swap out. Toxicroak has a pretty good matchup here, but I'm going to go into my own Obstagoon to catch a move. I don't really care which move I've caught here. It's Poison Fang, but the goal here is just to take out the Nidoqueen, and my Obstagoon is the weakest Pokemon versus their Obstagoon. So I get the boost here, which kind of makes me want to save my Obstagoon, so I actually shield it. This also gives me switch advantage, but they bring back in their Obstagoon smartly enough, which is their best play here. They probably know my line at this point, which is why this happens. And then I'm able to take it down. And then my boosted Obstagoon can hopefully deal some damage. Oh my god, yeah, this game. Crobat is very tough for this team too. Obstagoon is your best Pokemon versus it. And I think they, yeah, the fact that they're shielding my Night Slashes, they know what's up. I'm going to go into Toxicroak because they already have an energy lead. Oh, and I play this. Yeah, so I thought Mud Bomb did more damage to Crobat, or damage per energy, but Sludge Bomb is actually better. So, yeah, they're both single resisted. And it loses me a game in this set. I'm not sure if it's this one. They go for the Poison Fang. I'm going to swap out. Can't really afford to shield anything here. They're already at the Shadow Ball, which is obviously bad news. Yeah, I have to shield the Poison Fang. Should have really shielded the first one. And we're just going to quit out. Yep, no way we can deal with that Crobat. So it wasn't this game that was lost by the Mud Bomb. Obviously, I'm a bit too far away. But I got baited into spending a shield on my Obstagoon because of the boost. So one of those rare times when perhaps Obstagoon contributes to a loss. Gengar switching is kind of tough for Escav, obviously. But Drill Run one-shots. And as long as they don't swap in instantly, then you're going to beat them to a move. Most Gengars aren't running Sludge Bomb or are running Sludge Bomb anyways, it seems. And that's why they have to punch. And I'll be able to grab either another shield or force them to throw 9 Shadow Claws worth of energy instead of just 7. Gonna come in with Goon. Obviously, this is the best matchup against Gengar. Toxicroak and Escaf both don't do quite well against it. Especially with shields up. Don't shield that Sludge Bomb. Deals a lot of damage. And I'm going to try and, yeah, not going to be able to counter all the way down. So, very close, but I really thought I should take that opportunity. Instead, I'm going to have to shield for it. In comes Empoleon. Yeah, they know the team, right? They've seen my full line now. So they bring the Empoleon, which is really smart. But it's really the only thing that's keeping my chances of winning alive, right? The fact that they have this Empoleon in the back. And then I swap to Toxicroak, instant swap to Dragonite. And the rest is history. This is kind of over here. Gonna go for the Sludge Bomb. Barely make it. They're likely gonna shield. Because I'm at this low health, there's no reason for me to bait. And then Obstagoon's gonna come in and just get Dragon Breath down. I don't even think I shield here because I know the game is over. Yep, sometimes it's just tough. That was a very hard lead and a very hard switch. Not a lot of teams can come back from stuff like that, but made it close. Still 3 wins on the set. And getting even closer to 3,200 again. Just showing that this team can play at a leaderboard level. So Escav lead another one of these. Getting kind of common. Breaks a lot of course, so it makes sense. Just keep countering. And I haven't seen an Escav stay in yet, so we'll see if these guys do. So yeah, with 1, 2. Okay, no, they don't. In comes Gyarados. Gyarados is a pretty big threat to the team as well. I'm going to throw a Sludge Bomb. And swap to Obstagoon. The reason I swapped Obstagoon is, remember, Escav is the much better Pokemon against Obstagoon. I was going to throw my Night Slash right away, but I actually want to get a little bit lower. I should have kept farming even more, because this Escav is just going to come in and get counters off, but unfortunately I get pulled into the CMP. I'm not very smart. On my part, I'm going to throw the Night Slash and have a Night Slash ready for this Sylveon. So kind of scary. Like I said, Sylveon very good against Charmer's very good against this team. This is the first Charmer we've seen. Let's see how we play this out. They still have 2 shields. I'm gonna go for the bait here, recognizing that if I bait, I can probably get to a Sludge Bomb and get rid of the other shield. So gonna go for the Sludge Bomb. Gonna transfer that damage over to the Escav. It's just going to be a Psyshock, so I'm not going to shield this. I know I need a shield. Their Escav is almost at a Drill Run. We're going to throw with good timing so they can't catch this move at 4 counters. And then, yeah, it deals quite a bit of damage to that Sylveon. They're going to get to yet another move, but once again, I cannot shield this. I cannot. So I'm going to still get to this Drill Run, though, against their Escav, which is game-winning. And then going to be able to counter down this Sylveon with my Toxicroak. Very close game, but once again, that was against a Charmer. This team looks really weak to Charm, right? But it's possible. It's really helped out by the fact that the main Charmer used to be Togekiss, but now it's Sylveon, and Escav has a much better matchup versus Sylveon. Poliwrath lead, this is absolutely awful, especially because I'm starting to load into these games so late. I don't have time to react. They're going to go with a Scald, which is unfortunate. I was kind of hoping they didn't have it. And my attack drops, which honestly is good for me because then they're less likely to shield the Sludge Bomb, but they shield it anyways. So I've already committed here to staying in a little bit. I can't switch because Obstagoon can't end up versus Poliwrath. We're going to come in with Escav. It's tough. I'm not going to shield though. We're going to save these shields for Obstagoon. In comes Charizard. And like I said, Charizard is very, very bad for this team. But the fact that they swapped it in makes this much better for Obstagoon. I'm going to no shield here. Just a Dragon Claw. Yeah, my only win condition here was calling the bait. So we're going to keep going. More Night Slashes. And then even though my Obstagoon's going to be put in a pretty bad matchup against this Poliwrath, I do decide to shield this one. I can't really afford to have my Escav get that low. I feel like I'm just going to lose this game with 2 shields. So we're going to shield there, counter down. I should have a cross chop for this Poliwrath. But instead, I swap and throw the Drill Run. And out comes Venusaur. Ooh, no. Roserade. Going to be able to get this Drill Run off. Surprised they let me get there instead of throwing the Weather Ball. Burn the shields. And then just let Escav go down. It's done its job. It's not going to be able to make it to another move anyways. And we just have to hope Obstagoon gets to 2 moves here. And we'll be able to take it out. Yeah, another Night Slash. Should be able to finish the job against this Roserade. And, ooh, not quite. But the next counter will. And that's in this set already. We've already beaten a Charmer. And we've already beaten a Charizard. So it is possible. Obviously, it wasn't Charizard lead or anything like that, which would be a little bit harder, I think. But the Charizard did get swapped in, and I do remember that player saying it was a misclick. So Sirfetch'd, you shouldn't swap. I didn't see which Pokemon it was until way too late, and I swapped in. So I had to restart my app after this game, and that fixes that issue. But Escav versus Sirfetch'd isn't that bad either. This game would have just been so much more comfortable if I'd stayed in with Toxicroak. Because Toxicroak versus Sirfetch'd is just amazing. In this case, though, Escav, pretty good against Sirfetch'd. I'm going to grab 2 shields here and take it almost all the way down. The Sirfetch'd has a load of energy, but the energy is not usually very well used versus Toxicroak. I'm going to shield once because I'm kind of scared they might have Brave Bird. So they bait me with Leaf Blade, and maybe they did have Brave Bird because they didn't throw their second move. In comes Scizor. Scizor's not a good Pokemon. I don't know why people are running it, but just going to throw these Mud Bombs at it. Like, look how much damage this does. They're going to throw their move. I'm going to no shield. I feel like Obstagoon looks pretty safe here in the back. And they bait anyway, so I'm going to switch into Obstagoon. I didn't think they made it to an Iron Head, but I must have counted wrong. Oh no, I counted correctly. And in comes Aggron. So once again, another Pokemon that's just super weak to fighting in the back. And this doesn't look like a very serious team though. So either way we take those wins. It does make sense why they did not swap anything into the Escav. Escav completely dominated their back line. If I just stayed in, it would have been a very, very easy game. So yeah, restarted the app in the middle there. And you can see that I loaded way earlier now. Shadow Scizor. I try and make a catch on a move or on the Iron Head, but they don't throw. In comes Machamp, and this is exactly what you want to see. Escav for some reason baits out these Machamps because they know they can guarantee switch unless they don't shield. Unfortunately, they didn't even throw their cross chop there, so I'm not really sure. I think they must have lagged. Fortunate, but Gliscor also one of the hardest counters to this team. It's gonna, like, this game is not over even though they lagged. Gliscor, yeah, it's tough. I'm gonna have to bring Obstagoon in on it. It's definitely the better answer because Toxicroak kind of just gets absolutely walled by it. I didn't think they were an Earthquake yet, but I just wasn't counting. But I think they actually were at energy for an Earthquake, and I called the bait, which is a pretty big deal. And then they go up to Earthquake again here for the CMP tie. I know shield, or I shield this time. It's actually just a Night Slash. Maybe my count was wrong again. Yeah, just gonna throw this Night Slash off a Gliscor, and I get the boost here. Oh, it makes me really want to shield this, but I can't get baited into this again. We're gonna swap right into Toxicroak. Take it out with a Mud Bomb. Don't want to get hit with another move here, and then Sludge Bomb should be enough to take out Gliscor from this range. And yeah, Sludge Bomb is much better than Mud Bomb here. So I'm going to be able to take this win as well. Triple counter's been rolling in this set for sure. I think this last game is where I make a mistake, where I could have very easily won. Like a very simple mistake too. Yeah, Crobat lead. So Crobat lead, obviously very bad. Let's get into Escav, and in comes Sirfetch'd. So we've seen how this matchup can play out before if they're not running Night Slash. They're running only Leaf Blade or Leaf Blade and Brave Bird. You can take 2 shields off of them, and that's kind of, or switch. And both of those would be fantastic versus the Crobat right now. Yeah, so they Leaf Blade. They're going to have to throw another Leaf Blade, which I might actually live. So even better position than last time. I live, going to get the drill run off. They're going to be forced to use their second shield. I know my Toxicroak is generally useless here, so I'm going to be going in with it and just farming down. I know they just threw Leaf Blade, so I shouldn't shield this. Another Leaf Blade. And I'm going to obviously swap right away into that Crobat. And it's a Dragonite in the back. So this is a very tough team. It's got a Crobat and a Dragonite, ABA weak flying, or ABA flying. And I'm just praying for the boost here. I've got 2 shields on the Obstagoon. I'm going to shield up the Dragonite. Dragon Claws will deal more damage than the Poison Fangs. So no reason to shield that. Obstagoon's going to get another Night Slash off. And another Night Slash off and repeat. Actually, this time I think I'm probably just going to shield and farm down. I want to get some damage on this Crobat afterwards. But they're going to switch. No, they're not. So yeah, throw 1 counter, Night Slash. Another counter, and Night Slash. Yeah, this Crobat is very tanky. And this is where I mess up. Instead of throwing Sludge Bomb, I throw Mud Bomb. If I throw Sludge Bomb, I win this game. Because it deals about 10% extra, sorry, 12% extra damage to Crobat, and Crobat's at about 12% right now. Well, and if it isn't, then after that counter, it definitely was. So, unfortunate play by me. But I could have easily turned this into a, I believe, a 5-0. From a 4-1 into a 5-0, and even higher up in the ratings. Instead, we're only going to go to 32-39, which is good for whatever place on the leaderboard. I'm not sure. It's on the leaderboard, though. Definitely. Oops. Yeah, that's the video. Once again, you're seeing too many Charmers, too many Charizards, too many Crobats. Maybe don't run the team. But I can't tell what you guys are all running into in your metas. I can only really observe what's going on in mine. So apologies if the team doesn't work. It's a lot of fun regardless, in my opinion. So hopefully you enjoyed. And as always, thanks for watching.